Hello, student. I, Dr. Shafali Jain, Assistant Professor, Tirthankar Mahavi University. Student, today we discuss about Block 3, Classical Theory of Employment and Income. The classical economics hypothesized that a free enterprise economy would always tend towards full employment. The economy should adopt a policy of laissez-faire, non-interference of government. The classical economics follows the Adam Smith doctrine, invisible hands concept. In the if we say that the father of the macroeconomic, John Maynard Keynes, is his Journal Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, published in 1936, made a frontal attack on the classical theory. He developed a new economics which brought about a revolution in the economic thought and policy. The general theory was written against the background of the classical thoughts by the classicist Keynes meant the followers of Ricardo, those that is to say, who adopted and perfected the theory of Ricardian economics. They included into the particular J.S. Mill, Marshall, and Pigou. Keynes, Keynes economist is based on the criticism of the classical economist. It is unnecessarily to know. Now we discuss about the classical theory. What is the classical theory? Which is criticized by the Keynes. The classical economist, the classical economist believed in the existence of full employment in the economy. To them, full employment was a normal situation, and any deviation from this regarded as something abnormal. The tendency of the economic system is to automatically provide full employment. So, the classical economics believed in the existence of full employment in the economy. To them, full employment was a normal condition, and they regarded that according to Pigou, the tendency of the economic system is to automatically provide full employment in the labor market when the demand and supply of labor are equal. Result. Classical economists believed that unemployment result from the rigidity in the wage structure and interference in the working of free market system because they believe that the economy should be free market economy and uh, in the form of as there are some interference in the working of the free market system in the form of trade union legislations, minimum wage legislation, etc. Full employment exists when everybody what is full employment? That full employment in an economy, full employment always found, always exists when everybody who is who at the running rate of basis wishes to be employed. Those who are not prepared to work at the existing wage rate are not employed because they are voluntarily unemployed. This is considered by the classical economics. Thus, full employment is a situation where there is no possibility of voluntary unemployment in the sense that people are prepared to work at the current wage rate, but they do not find work. So, the basis of classical this is not theory given by single economics. Ricardo, Adam Smith, Pigou, Marx, JBC, but all economics also give this theory. The basics of the classical theory is Say's laws of market, which was carried forward by the classical economics like P. Marshall. They explained the determination of output and employment divided into individual market for labor, goods, and money. Each market involves a built-in equilibrium mechanism to ensure full employment in the economy. So these all economics are gave this theory and are the supporter of the classical theory. There are basic features of the and assumptions of the classical theory. First of all, exemptions of full employment. There is the existence of full employment without inflation. Next, policy of laissez-faire means there is a laissez-faire capitalism economy without government interference and price mechanism and price-based flexibility. There is perfect competition in labor and product market. We also discuss it further in the video. And labor is homogeneous, and it is a closed economy without foreign trade. And money wages and real wages are directly related and proportional. And and total output of economy is divided between consumptions and investment expenditure. The quantity of money is given, and the money is only the medium of exchange. Wages and prices are perfectly flexible, and there is perfect information on the part of the all market participant because perfect competition are going on. Money ways and real ways is directly related and proportional, and saving and are automatically invested and equally between the two is brought about by the rate of interest, and capital stock and technical knowledge are given, and the law of diminishing returns operate. Capital and technology is fixed, and production is subject of law of diminishing returns. And saving are equal to investment, and rate of interest is the linking variable between the two. The theory is operative in the long run. It means the theory is it assumes long terms. So the main basis of the theory is uh, the sales laws of market. Supply creates its own demand. The determinations of the output and employment in the classical theory occurs in the labor, goods, money market in the economy. So it is the main dependence on the sales laws. Sales say that supply creates its own demands. It means that an increase in production automatically automatically increases money income, and there is no overproduction, excess supply, or underconsumption. Shortage in demand because supply creates its own demand at the same value. In this, it means sales laws of market is the core of the classical theory of employment. And early in the further video, I also explained the sales law. Um, and early 19th century French economics, J.B. Say, enthusiastic the propositions that supply creates its own demand. Therefore, there cannot be journal over production and the problem of unemployment in the economy. Is there a general overproduction in the economy? Then some laborers may be asked to leave their jobs. Says say that if there is a general overproduction in the economy is found, some laborers are asked that they should be leave the job. The problem of unemployment arises in the economy in the short run, and in the long run, the economy will automatically tend towards full employment when the demand and the supply of goods become equal. When a producer produces goods and pays wages to worker, the worker in terms buy those goods in the market. Thus, the very act of the supplying goods implies a demand for them, and it is this way that supply creates its own demand. He also say it's this theory is also based on the wage price flexibility and full employment. I have also discussed how the wage price flexibility and full employment I have also discussed. According to the classical economics, there is no possibility of involuntary unemployment in a capitalist economy. All those who were willing to work will get job at existing market wage rate. I will also discuss it. I have Say's laws. I will also discuss about the Say's laws in the theory. Now, full employment. Lerner says full employment is a situation in which all those who are able to the one want to work at the existing rate of wage get work without any undue difficulty. Hence, full employment implies absence of involuntary unemployment. Involuntary unemployment means people are ready to work at existing wage rate, but they do not get the job. So, first of all, labor market equilibrium. Um, when labor market is in equilibrium, we can determine the level of employment and the real wage rate. Supply of labor increases when the raise in wage rate. The full employment prevail at the equilibrium real wage. It means in the classical theory, output and employment are determined. Uh, output determined first of all. In this output and determined by the production function and the demand for labor and supply of labor in the economy. Given the capital stock, technical knowledge, and other factors, a precise relation exists between total output and the amount of employment. Number of workers, this is shown uh, in the figure. The production function Q is represented by the production function Q. Q is a function of K T goes K L. L yani labor, K capital. So K and the production function become function of the numbers of worker. Output is increasing here. Output is increasing function of the number of workers. When the labor is increasing, output also increasing. Output increasing as the employment of the labor is rises. Here you see when the labor rises, output is increasing. But after a point here, but after a point when more workers are employed, when these workers are employed, diminishing marginal returns to labor start. Where you see the curve is not in the curve is not the curve is increasing the diminishing rate. This show in the curve where the curve Q is equal to function of K and production function and total output. Corresponding the full employment level here is a full employment level, and but when more workers are employed beyond after the full employment level, increasing output is less than the increasing employment rate. Here the you can see the as अगर आप if यहाँ पे if you will draw a line, you can see that these numbers are more here more and either less. So more labor are more increasing. Sorry, it means increasing output is less than increasing the employment. After a point, output also increasing, but and labor is also increasing, but output is less increasing than the labor. Next, Sector A, the figure show labor market equilibrium in the classical model. Sufficient wage flexibility ensure ensures the demand for labor is equal to its supply here, where the demand is equal to supply. And section B shows the output determination at the full employment. Here you see, I have also explained that NF, that full employment level, and F is a full employment level. It's a full employment level. When the work, so with fixed capital stock and unchanged technology, the total output at the full employment is equal to here. Full employment is equal uh, to equilibrium value of the national income. So in this figure, in the labor market, the demand for labor and supply of labor determined the labor of output and employment. The classical economics regards the demand for labor as the function of the real wage. The real wage, uh, it's showing here real wage, yani demand for labor, yeah, demand for number function of the W upon P, W upon P. Whereas DN means demand for labor, W wage rate, and P price level. Dividing wage rate W by here real wage can find out, dividing wage rate by price level, and we get real wage W upon P, which is showing here. You can see the demand for labor is decreasing function of real, when the here you see when the wage is increasing, the demand for labor is decreasing function. The demand for labor is decreasing. Here you see when the wage rate is increasing, the demand for labor is increasing, as shown by the downward sloping curve. Here you see downward sloping curve. By reducing real wage, and in this point you can say, by reducing real ways, the more workers can be employed. You see here more workers, here only these worker, the demand is here, and in this point the more workers here, the more workers can be employed. And you see here uh, the supply of labor, mint, sorry, and the supply of labor also depend on the real wage rate. Here you see as S curve, where S and yani supply of labor. SL yani the supply of labor, but it is increasing function. Here you see increasing function of the real wage rate, as you see, as you shown by upward. Here you see upward sloping curve, increasing real wage rate. When real wage rate increasing, the more workers can be employed. Here you see when demand is this, but supply is here, the more workers want to be employed. When D and S curve intersect at the point of E, the full employment level, and it is also NF. NF is determined at the equilibrium real wage, where real wage W upon T. And if the wage rate rises from W upon P and it becomes W upon P1, the supply of labor will also increase more, but demand than its demand. Now, you see W upon P1, a wage rate demand workers will all involuntary unemployment, because the demand for labor is less than the supply. So with competition among workers for work, they will be willing to accept, lower wage, and the wage rate will fall and will become on their equilibrium point. Just the supply of the labor will fall, the demand if suppose if the supply of the labor will fall, The demand for labor will rise, and the equilibrium point E uh, will be uh, will be also found with a full employment level NF. If the wage rate falls from their equilibrium point, then the competition by employers for workers will raise the wage rate. Then and the equilibrium point E will be restored along with the full employment level and F. Here you can see it. So I think you well understood. It's now out determinations. Mint capital market with full employment is a general characteristics in a capitalist economy. Level of employment refers to the equilibrium of demand and supply of labor in the economy. Production is a function of number of labors. I have also equilibrium level is aggregate output and employment is given by the production function and the labor's demand and the labor and supply function respectively. Saving is equal to the investment, so employment, so for short period in the economy, but it can adjusting forces and restore full employment. Aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Here, ways, real ways, money ways. You can see the classical economics believe that there was always always full employment in the economy. In case of unemployment, a general cut in money ways. Okay, a general cut in money ways would take the economy to full employment. Okay, the argument is based on the assumptions of there is a direct and proportional relationship between money ways and real ways. When money ways are reduced, they lead to reduction in the cost of production and consequently, here you see real ways equal to money ways. DD, yani demand curve is less than supply curve unemployment. Okay, money wages decreases and real wages decreases, demand increases. It means when money wages are reduced, they lead to reduce in cost of production and consequently to the lower prices of product. When price falls, demand for product will increase and sale will be pushed up, and increased sale will necessarily the employment and more labor, ultimately full employment will attain. Pigo also explained that Pigo also explained that number of workers employed, number of work, Pigo also the the demand for labor is a decreasing function of the real wage. If W is the money wage rate. P is the price level of the production, and MPN is the marginal product of level. So in this diagram, you can see therefore DD equal to SS here, where DD is equal to SS here, the full employment level. I have also discussed it uh, when prices increases, the output also increases, supply also increases, and in this point, an equilibrium point where demand curve and supply curve intersect to each other, it is a full employment level. And I also ways in the further of the video now output determination. In classical model, employment depend on real wage rate, the rate of nominal wage rate to general price level, where W is nominal wage rate, P general price level. The classical economics assume perfect competition and the diminishing marginal return to scale. So the firm will reach the point of optimal purchase of labor by equating MPI with the real wage rate. So W upon P यानी wage rate is equal to MP, यानी marginal productivity of labor. So in the figure tip, full employment position. Here you see in the classical model, changes in the rate of interest tend to change in the saving investment and ensures the at full employment position. It means the goods market is equilibrium when saving equal to investment. At this point, total demand equals total supply, and the economy is in a state of full employment. According to the classical economics, when what is not spent is automatically invested. The saving here, saving and here investment. The saving must equal to investment. If there is any divergence between the two, e- equality is maintained through the mechanism of the rate of interest. To damn both saving and investment are the function of the interest rate. Here you see uh, where S here is S saving and I investment are rate of interest. Okay, to classical economic interest is the reward for saving. The higher the rate of interest, the higher the saving. If the rate of interest is increasing, the saving is increasing. You see, saving increasing. Here you see, and the lower investment. Here you see, investments is lower. Okay, on the countries. The lower rate of interest, here you see the lower rate of interest, the higher demand for investment. Here you see the higher yield. You see the demand, higher demand for the investment fund and lower saving. Lower saving. If at any given period investment exceed saving, I more than as the rate of interest will be rise. This is because saving is regarded as an increasing function of interest rate and investment as a decreasing function of the rate of interest. Assuming interest rate are perfectly elastic, the mechanism of equality between saving and investment is shown in this figure where SS is the saving curve and I is the investment curve. Both intersect with each other at the full employment level where our interest rate saving is equal to I. If interest rate rises and saving is more than the investment. So, which will lead to unemployment in the economy. So, I think you have to understood it well. Now, we discuss next diagram, money market equilibrium. This theory, money market equilibrium. Here, this theory expresses how the supply of money determines the aggregates price level in the economy. In the Fisher quantity theory of money, we have also discussed it. You can see this video. M is equal to the quantity money, the quantity of money. V, velocity of circulation money. Y, aggregate income, yani GDP. P, the aggregate price level. The classical economics assumed that the aggregate output Y remains constant in short run due to assumptions of full employment and constant technology price-based flexibility. The classical economics consider when the quantity of money increases, yes, supply of money increases, the price is also increases. The money market equilibrium is the classical economy based on the quantity theory of money, which state that the general price level P is the economy depend on the supply of money. Here, supply of money, and you can say also GDP output, supply of money. where MV is equal to PT, M supply of money and the quantity of money, you can say. V velocity of circulations, and M or P price level, and so the equation tells the total money supply MV equal total value total value of output PT in the economy. So uh, it means students. uh, This equation tells MV is equal to PT. This equation tells the total money supply MV equal to total value of, because PT, T means transactions, P price level, volume of output, T in the economy, assume V and T, V and T, velocity of money and T transactions to be constant. A change in supply of money, if there is a change in M supply of money causes the proportional changes in the price level. Thus, here you see the supply of money M, price level P. When the supply of money changes and it become M1, price level also same proportionate changes. And you see thus, price level function, a case, a change in supply of money M causes a proportional changes in the price level P. Thus, the price level is a function of a money supply. P is equal to function of money. The relation between quantity of money, total output, and price level is depicted in this figure, where the price level is P on the horizontal x-axis and the total output on the vertical x-axis. MV is the money supply curve. Here MV is the money supply curve, which is rectangular hyperbole. Here you see rectangular hyperbole. This is because the equation MV is equal to PT hold on all points on this curve given the output level OQ. OQ, there would be only one price level OP. Okay, consistent with the quantity of money as shown by point M, and on the M and on MV curve. If quantity of money increases and increases, the MV curve will also shift M1V. M1V, the curve is shifted, M1V curve. As you see in the figure, as a result, the price level would rise OP to OP1 given the same level of output OQ. Output is constant. Transaction, the transaction, goods and services transaction and velocity is constant. This rise in the price level is exactly proportional to rise the quantity of money P1 equal to M1 when the full employment level of output remain OQ. I think you have to understood this diagram strengths now. Sorry, here you also see in if money supply increases, I have also written you when money supply is increases, M1 to M2 velocity of remain constant, aggregate demand increasing from 81 to 82. Okay. As a result, aggregate output remain constant. YF here, YF output remain constant. Aggregate output. Inflation is purely monetary phenomena. Money has neutral effect on the variables. I think you have to understood this video perfectly. Strengths. Now, implications of the classical theory. First of all, importance of full employment. Involuntary unemployment is absent under perfect competition. General unemployment is not possible, and decrease in money wages tend to decrease the real wages also. Wage and price flexibility occurs according to the Say's law of market. Due to Say's law of market, there is no overproduction and general unemployment issues. People spend their entire income on consumption and investment. Saving are equal to investment. And rate of interest can be changed as a according to equalized his saving and investment. We discuss the criticism of classical theory. Criticism of classical theory. Professor John Maynard Keynes wrote in his seminal work, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money in 1936, presented several objections to the classical theory of employment. In his book, he criticized on the classical theory of employment and strongly clashed with the Say's law of market. Um, Keynes argued that during depression, Say's law does not work. According to Keynes' equilibrium, income and full employment income are not the same things. And with it, Keynes also criticized on Pigue's approach regarding wage cut. He trusted on involuntary unemployment rises due to deficiency of demand due to fall in income and of labor. He determinations of aggregates output and employment level called as general equilibrium. Says rejected laissez-faire policy. He believes in short run, so criticized that the theory ignored problem in short period. Criticism says laws is weak, employment cannot be increased by general uh, money waste cut. Possibility of underemployment equilibrium, absence of automatic adjustment. Money is not merely a whale. Saving and investment are not interest elastic. And rejection of laissez-faire policy. It ignores problems of short period. No, not based on empirical facts. First of all, classical views. In the briefly, agar say, the classical theory points that unemployment is voluntary, meaning the individual who are not employed are choosing not to work at the prevailing wage rate. While Keynes argued that unemployment could be involuntary. He observed that during economic recession, many workers are willing to work at the current wage rate but cannot find employment due to a lack of aggregate demand. So, see, Keynes always focus on aggregate demand. This situation leads to involuntary unemployment, which the classical theory fails to explain. Next, the classical views argues that wages and prices are flexible and will adjust, ensure that market clear, leading to full employment. Keys highlight that wages and prices are often strictly downward due to the various reasons, such as long terms, minimum wage law, and workers' resistance to non-wage cuts. This rigidity prevents the necessary adjustment in the labor workers, resulting in persistence unemployment. With it, the classical theories assume that supply creates its own demand, says weak, laws as weak, and Keynes argue that aggregate demand, total expanding in the economy, is crucial in determining the overall level of economic activity and employment. He pointed out that the lack of the aggregate demand can lead to prolonged period of high unemployment, as firms will not produce goods and services if they do not expect them to be purchased. And saving and investment. Classical economics to considered suggests that saving will always equal investment due to adjustment in interest rate. Jackie Keynes uh, criticized that saving and investment decisions are made by different agenda with different motivations. He argued that interest rate alone not do not necessarily balance saving and investment during recession. Even low interest rate might not be stimulate enough investment to match saving, so leading to insufficient aggregate demand and unemployment. With it, he also Keynes also introduced the concept of the multiplier effect, where an initial increase in spending leads to a larger overall increase in national income. This idea highlights the importance of government intervention to boost aggregate demand during the periods of economic downfall. And with it, the classical economy does not account for the multiplier effect, while multiplier effect is also found in the present time, as it assumes that markets are always in equilibrium and do not need to external intervention. With it, classical views hold that interest rate are determined by the supply and demand for loanable fund, while Keynes introduced the concept of liquidity preference. And I have also discussed the liquidity preference theory in the block second, and you can see there that interest rates are determined by the demand for money as a liquid asset. He argued that during times of economic uncertainty, people prefers to hold cash rather than investment, leading to a liquidity trap where the low interest rate do not stimulate investment. With it, Keynes emphasized the role of uncertainty and changing expectation in influencing economic behavior. He argued that during uncertain times, businesses and consumer might cut back on the spending and investment economy, while the classical economics does not adequately consider the impact of uncertainty and expectation on the economic decision, assuming the market operation with perfect information and rationality. So, Keynes' objection to the classical theory of employment fundamentally shifted understanding of macroeconomics. He highlights the importance of aggregate demand, waste, and price rigidity and the role of government intervention stabilizing the economy. He cites the foundation of Keynesian economics, which advocates for acting fiscal and monetary policy to manage economic fluctuation and achieve full employment. So, strength in this video, we discussed the classical theory of employment and income, and I think, and also criticize the classical theory. I think you well understood the theory. Now, thank you very much.